Hello, once again, Global Studies students. Today I'm here to look at how to make our Adopt a Country postcard. So let's talk back what you've been working on the last few days. You've brainstormed a list of possible countries. You've used and familiarized yourself with the database of culturegrams. And now you're going to use all of that as you make a postcard for your chosen country. So let's go through. You will start by looking at the postcard instructions. When you click that, you're going to open up a document. So let's talk through our instructions. There are many ways that countries, states, and cities try to promote what they have to offer. One way, by using cultures to quote unquote show off their culture. Just look at the examples that are on the instructions. Look at Paris. We talk about some of the architecture, art museums. Duluth, if you've ever been to Duluth, you know the lake is prominent there. You know the lift bridge is prominent there as well. Shipping's important. Like this one for France, all the different pictures show all sorts of different aspects of their culture, how they get around. It looks at some of their tourists, looks at some of the food that they have. London, of course, Big Ben, London Bridge, all right, some of the changing of the guard and the different things the military is used for in some of the ceremonies. The Philippines, again, we get some of the more the traditional architecture. We get some of the culture, what they do for their leisure activities. So these kind of give a good job of looking at what postcards can do. With that, your job then is to create a postcard to help a tourist or someone unfamiliar with your adopted country learn what life is like for someone who lives there. In order to get started, we are going to be using that culturegram database that you used last week when you brainstormed your possible 10 countries. If you did not watch the video of how to use it or access it, please make sure you do so. You are then going to research any three of the following categories. You'll notice that we have 5 options for you. This is where you get to have some choice. You will choose 3 of these that you're interested in. All right. For research, you can take notes however you'd like. If you want to take notes on a document, wonderful. If you would rather write them down in a notebook, go right ahead. If you want to use actual note cards to take your notes on your categories, that works just fine too. Let's model this out a little bit. After I look at the instructions, I'm going to go up to my databases. So go into your general information, your online resources. When I click on middle school online resources, as you know from yesterday, when I scroll down, all right, I'm going to come to culturegrams. World edition, obviously, all right. And let's say, for example, that I am doing the country of Peru. All right. Now, what you will notice on the left-hand side is your categories. Guess what? They generally, for the most part, match up with the instructions that you have, all right, with your categories. So if I choose that I'm going to do the people for my research, if that's where I'm going to start, all right, any of these subheadings are things that I can now research out. So maybe I want to start with personal appearance. I'm going to read through this and I'm going to take a few notes on it. All right, I read through or write down a few things. Now maybe I want to get a little bit of information about the language. So my first category is the people. The second category I'm going to research will be customs and courtesies. And once again, I'm going to have 4 options. I'm going to start with gestures and take a couple of notes on there. Then I'm going to go to eating and take a few notes. My third category that I'm going to choose is going to be society. So I'm going to look at transportation and communications as number 1. I'm going to notice here that people use the internet about 53 people out of 100. That's going to be a note. About 77% of the roads there are paved, which means it's pretty good infrastructure. All right. After I do my research, I'm going to go back to the instructions and I'm going to see that, all right, now I have my first step done. Once I have my research, now it's your job to go on and you're going to find images that represent that research. All right. The big thing I'm going to go over real quick is that you need to make sure that they're copyright friendly. Mr. Gallagher has created a video on how to change those settings on your iPad. Once you're done, then you are going to go on the assignment document and create your postcard. On one side, you will have a visual display. Look at our examples. You might have a few words on there. Welcome to Peru. Greetings from Russia. Maybe you want to put words in the language that is spoken in that country. Maybe you want to put a phrase that's known. Be creative with it. You then will arrange your different pictures that you have and put them on there. Your pictures, you might have 3 or 4. Again, this is in the instructions for the week. And then on the back of the postcard, you will write one sentence describing how each picture represents each of the categories. You should have at least 4 pictures. I probably would do more. Look at any of these postcards. If you ask yourself, is there a lot of empty white space on here? Not really. The answer is no. This one is where you might find the most white space, but again, there's a lot of different pictures on there. This document of where you're going to be making it is going to be found on Schoology. So again, if I go into the folder for the week and I open up the folder for the week, you will find on there a document that says postcard assignment. And when you open that up, we did put the instructions in there so you can refer to. We also have a slide in here that is for the front. You will delete this and you will make it colorful. If you want to change the background picture, go right ahead. The background color, absolutely. And then we also have on here kind of where you're going to be writing what the pictures represent. This is meant to be a creative project. Let's be honest. We just got done writing an essay. You just got done doing some pretty intense research on a topic that you really cared about. Now is your chance to find some categories about a country you want to know more about. So again, enjoy the postcard. All right, be creative. You always can look at other postcards as well as you go through this. And as always, if you have any questions, make sure you contact your teacher and find out the answer to what you have to have answered. Have a great day.